I'm Meg Kelly, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. And today we're going to talk about my top 3 favorite warm-ups for your voice. So why warm up in the first place? Release of tension and agility is the focus in warming up your voice. You can think of it in this way. Singing is a combination of learning a musical instrument and learning a sport. It requires a lot of muscle memory and a lot of coordination and body awareness and a lot of musical knowledge. The warming up portion plays to the sport aspect of singing. I tell people sometimes if they're a runner or if they play a sport, you wouldn't just run out onto the field, or you wouldn't just start running a half marathon. You have to warm your body up. You have all those muscles can get so tight, goes back to tension, everything goes back to tension. But the warm up aspect of singing is super, super important, because if you don't warm up your muscles, you do risk injuring yourself. There are vocal injuries that can occur. And also it's just gonna be a lot harder to get through a difficult song or even an easy song. And you're gonna get more tired and exhausted. If my hamstrings were tight and I went out for a run, I wouldn't last nearly as long as if I had jogged and stretched before that run to loosen up my hamstrings. And then I could go for 3 miles. Not that I run at all, but you know, maybe that's a 2020 resolution for me. But it all comes back to warming up. The more you get into a warm-up routine, the more you'll see that you can sing for longer spans of time without getting tired. And also, when you start getting really into the technical work, you'll already have a lot more agility if you've warmed up beforehand. So I'm a big fan of warming up, and cooling down can be really important too if you have a really big show that you sing. Cooling down's important, but this is about warming. This one's about warming up. You always want to start your warm-up exercises in a pretty comfortable range. You don't want to start at the very bottom of your range or at a higher level of your range. Right in the middle, right where your speaking voice is. For women, most of the time that's around an A below middle C. For men, it is sometimes lower than that. So starting there and ascending by half step until you reach your top. The more released tension you have, the easier it'll be to hit higher notes. But once you get to the top, I also bring it down all the way and then take it down into your lower end too. Everyone talks about using a lip trill to warm up your voice, and although it's not the end-all be-all thing that's going to change your voice completely, it is a really great warm-up for a number of reasons. First of all, the lip trill, because it is what we call a semi-occluded exercise, bounces sound back onto your vocal cords, which keeps them loose, and it's a lot harder to do a lip trill when you have a lot of tension. So it starts you off on the right track when you are warming up your voice so that you can keep tension low. I have another video about tension and some specific tension releasing exercises. If you're interested in that, I will try to put it on screen somewhere here. I'll also link it below. But a lip trill is a great way to start off your vocal practice with a little bit more release and less tension in your voice. It also does not make a lot of use of what we call your articulators, which is your jaw, your lips, and your tongue. Although your lips are involved obviously in a lip trill, they are involved in a very relaxed and freeing way. You don't hold onto them or have to control them. When you sing words, your lips, tongue, and jaw have to get a lot more involved. Your articulators have to be a lot more involved, which can also add to tension. You see a theme here. Part of warming up is releasing tension and getting your voice really ready to take on the amount of singing that you're going to be doing. The lip trill is also great because it awakens your breath. You can't get through a lip trill without having a consistent exhale of air. You can also notice really easily when you have too much air coming out or not enough air coming out. The lip trill will either speed up or it will stop. So it's a really great visual and tactile way of keeping track of your breath and really waking your breath up and getting it ready for singing. My favorite way to do a lip trill in warm-up is just in arpeggio for 1 octave. There's a timestamp below that will take you to the part of this video where you can warm up with me playing on the piano. My second favorite warm-up is a long scale. So what does that mean? It means we're going to go 1.5 octaves in one exercise. The previous exercise for the lip trill, that was just 1 octave. 1.5 octaves spans a much larger range. Why do I like the long scale for a warm-up? Well, one, because it has an extensive range. And if you have the right vowel consonant combination or lip trill or whatever you want to sing on it, it does help you to not think about getting higher. You don't have the time to think about the fact that you're getting higher. And it's so quick that you just kind of flow your way up and flow your way down without the time for tension to build. So my personal favorite, and every voice is different, I want to say that right now, every voice feels different on these exercises, and my students all have different vowel and consonant combinations for them based on their habits and what they're working on. But my personal favorite combination for the long scale is meh. That's the combination of the consonant M and the vowel E, but in a very relaxed E on eh. The reason I like that for my voice in particular is that eh vowel is very relaxed for me. My jaw gets nice and dropped, my tongue gets out of the way, I don't have to think a lot about creating that vowel. My articulators, the lips, tongue, and jaw, stay pretty relaxed. Not everyone is that way, but if that's the way for you, this might be a great exercise for you. Also, the M consonant, although it is a voiced consonant, meaning that it does have pitch when you say it, versus an unvoiced consonant, which just has air that pops out. Kind of the difference between a B and a P. I'll have another video about voiced and unvoiced consonants. M is a voiced consonant. The reason I like the fact that it's voiced is that it gets your voice moving, and you have to sing a pitch to create the M sound. But also, you can hold an M without a vowel at all. So, if you do that with me and you do it in a relaxed way, your lips should buzz a little bit, and that's because there's air pressure hitting behind them, which is great for warming up. It has a similar effect to the lip trill. If we just hummed, that would also be considered a semi-occluded exercise, the way that the lip trill is a semi-occluded exercise. So by starting with the lip trill and then going to an M, we're not doing a whole lot of drastic movement between the two. We can keep the relaxation that the lip trill has in the M pretty easily versus going to a G vowel or a B vowel that kind of pops its way. The M is really sustained. The M also gets your airflow going the same way that the lip trill does. So by starting off that exercise in the long scale with a little bit of air, a little bit of sound, and then opening up into a really relaxed vowel, it makes the long scale feel pretty easy. My final favorite warm-up is the juicy slide, descending slide in particular, on either a SOO, so S-O-O, or ZOO, Z-O-O. The difference for these is also voiced versus unvoiced consonants. The Z will probably be a bit harder and could add tension, so depending on the day for me personally, I'll kind of switch between the S and the Z beginning this exercise. The S is a lot lighter. An OO vowel is really nice because it's smooth and gentle, and you start with the S and the Z. Both of them have a lot of air behind them. Now, we'll start on high note and descend down because you want to have a little bit of variety. Both of the other two exercises start from bottom notes up and then go back down, and this one will just be top down. And it's similar to the first lip trill exercise, except we'll start at the top, like I said before. Zoo. Now, the thing about this exercise is it's a slide, so you do not need to get every single individual note. You can use the arpeggio just kind of as a guide for you to go down, but it's not zoo, because those kind of lock into those pitches, which you definitely don't need during this warm-up. You could take out the middle two notes for the arpeggio and just do zoo. And you'll go, again, start from somewhere comfortable and take your way all the way up to your top and then all the way down to your bottom. I hope that was helpful for you. Leave a comment below if you tried out these exercises, or leave a comment below about what your favorite vocal exercise is. I'd love to learn some new ones and to experiment changing up my own warm-up routine. Love to hear from you. Have a great day.